So let's talk about like energy harvesting. I'm getting this analogy of like the bread and the butter. So the bread represents like a highly spiritually evolved soul, somebody that has already went through their karmic debt. They've already done their shadow work, their dark night of the soul. They've already freed themselves of all of their karmic ties, their karmic debts, and things like that. So they're due for their spiritual abundance, their spiritual inheritance. The butter is going to represent somebody who has karmic debt, who is still karmically evolved in a lot of different places. They entertain toxic situations, toxic environments, toxic habits. This is somebody who is in turn basically a karmic. And then you got the toaster, and the toaster is going to represent manifestation. It's going to represent planning. It's going to represent spiritual abundance. It's going to represent healing. So these two people come across each other. You got this person who didn't went through the toaster. You know, they the bread, they went through the toaster, they went through this healing process, they got their spiritual abundance and shit like that. And then they come across this person and you put that little bit of butter on them, right? Whoever is the butter, whoever is this karmic person, they probably would take ownership for the whole taste of that toast when all they did was add the butter. They wasn't the bread, they didn't go through the process of making the bread, they didn't go through the toaster, they didn't do none of that shit. But they are yoked with this person who did. So now they get to take ownership for that toast. This is kind of like the process of energy harvesting. Somebody who has not done the work, who has not worked on themselves at all, they come across somebody who has done the work and they take ownership for their blessings, for their abundance, and for their energy. This person who is spiritually evolved, they really technically shouldn't even be in contact with this person. They're on two totally different spiritual timelines. They're on two totally different frequencies. And if this person comes into contact with this other person, this karmic person, all it's going to do is drag their energy down. So it's going to bring their frequency downwards while pulling this other person's frequency upward. In the process of this other person's frequency coming up, it's not necessarily their own energy, because remember, they didn't do any of the work. They're just coming into contact with somebody who did, and they're in turns basically mimicking this other person's energy. As they are mimicking this other person's energy, they are now receiving their spiritual abundance, their spiritual blessings, and their spiritual inheritance, while this other person is probably in some karmic debt now. They're probably going through whatever this person done put on them, like whatever toxic shit they going through it now, because they done got yoked with this person who is not on their frequency, not on their timeline, not in their destiny. They done got yoked with this person who is not supposed to be around them at this time. And now they're experiencing their karma. We're going to have to make this part one. I'm running out of time.